I had my computer set up in the kitchen upstairs.
Okay. Okay. Got you.
Hey, Ms. Green, if you're speaking, I think you're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Welcome,
There we
everyone.
go.
I'm just talking. So welcome, everyone, on this hot June day. I'm still admitting people, so bear with me as I do like 95 things at one time, but I'm good at this. Tonight, I'm in a different environment. I'm at the Historical Society, and we have a few things going on here. There's a meeting going on upstairs as well as what's going on down here. So we just want to welcome everyone that's on the meeting Zoom at this moment. They're still coming. I thank you all for taking time, and I'm so glad that we're doing it in an environment where it's just nice and cool, where we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything but just basically just sit here and enjoy the comfort of the air conditioning. So with that being said, I'm going to open up our meeting. We always start with a prayer, and I be respectful to all spiritualities because of the fact that everyone's not on the same page all the time. So I pray in such a way where it may not be normal to most, but it's acceptable to many. So we'll start off with a short one. Dear Heavenly and Universal Parents of all walks of life, we thank you for all of us. We thank you for everything that you've done for us. We thank you for getting us into 2021 and getting us through 2020. We thank you for teaching us about what a pandemic was, is, and what it will be. We thank you for those of us that survived, and we pray for all families who lost everyone that they lost. We thank you for the new presidency and the leadership that is at the helm, and we thank you for all of those who were our heroes as we went through all of what we've gone through in 2020. So as we continue into 2021, into June, we now ask you to bless this meeting with the information that we're about to share with our communities, and that our communities will grow so that we can become the people that you want us to be. It is not that we have any rights to say anything about what we want, but we are in your command, and we should be doing what it is that you want us to do. So bless each and every one that is here, each and every one that is coming, and everyone that would like to be here. We pray for all families to stay safe in this heat. We ask that all families will have some type of fans or air conditioners or something. And if they don't, please reach out and ask someone to help them. But we thank you for everything that you've given us this day, yesterday, and all the days to come. In the name of the one who saved us, amen.
Amen.
Thank you all. So, okay, my waiting room is full. Like being in a doctor's office. I love it.
Mhm.
So, I just want to get started. I'm going to bring up our agenda so that we know exactly what direction we're going in. I want to thank my neighbor and also my friend, the Assemblyman Bill Spearman and his wife, Michelle, for always being here for us, always being here with us to give us, updates on things that's going on. And if he needs to tell us anything during this meeting, it's going to be okay for him to chime in. So, Bill, you let me know if you need anything. Just raise your hand and I got you. Okay. So with that being said, okay. So with that being said, let me get my share. If there's anyone that has presentations, I've made a few people co-host tonight, but if there's anyone that has the presentations.
Yes, my name's Michael Donovan. It says Megan Bernhardt up there. That's my associate.
Okay.
I'm with Haley Donovan Architects. We were going to present the project on the corner of Euclid and Haddon. and the
Okay.
scattered site project that we've been working with Bridget on and team.
Okay, so under Megan, I'll make you a co-host, seeing that it's under that name.
Perfect. I appreciate
That
it.
way you can, that way, there you go. So we're gonna make you a co-host,
Okay.
and it's a done deal. All right, you're in. Okay. I have a chat going on here. Good evening, Miss Allen. How are you? So let me get my share screen up. This has been one busy day. Hold on one second. And we are looking at this. And we need to share screen. And we need to open. And lo and behold. Okay. Hello, Joey Rodriguez. How are you?
Ms. Green, how's it going?
It's going. We didn't burn up, but it's been a hot one the last few days. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thankfully.
That's good. That's very good. Okay. All right. So, as I said, welcome to everyone. Let me see what I have here. Yvonne. Okay. I have a presenter access, which you can. Okay. Great. All right. If there's anyone that's going to need to be a presenter, I have Alicia and I have Mike as presenters, co-hosts with me tonight, so that you guys can actually, pull up your presentations. If there's anyone else that needs to be a co-host, let me know. Wait, I've got Jonathan that's talking to me right now. Hold on one second. Zoom is great, but Zoom is work now that I'm looking at it. It's a lot of work too. Where's Jonathan? Jonathan. Okay. Thought he was right there. I'll find him. So I'm going to start out tonight, since we're running into a little bit after 6, with Mike Donovan from Haley Donovan Architects. He's going to talk to us about our project, which is Parkside Place. I think that's what they're calling it, Mike.
Yes.
Parkside 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And he's going to give us like a slideshow and everything. I'm trying to limit everything to about maximum 15 minutes, everybody. So we'll get to 15 minutes and I'll let you know. Okay? Go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
Let me introduce Mike. Has been working with Parkside for some time now, and our design is complete. This first project on Haddon and Euclid is a combination of 32 multifamily units and 25,800 feet of commercial space. And Mike can walk through and, each of those components and, go through the layouts. Most recently, because of COVID, we modified our design, and we really added a lot of nice features in the residential as well as the commercial to help facilitate COVID and how we can address that going forward in light of COVID. We're also working on important features of energy and health certifications. And lastly, we're working on incorporating what are called principles of biophilia, which is bringing green inside and green outside with everything that we're working on with each project in the community, including this one. So we're excited about this project. Mike did a great job. We hope to close on our financing in December, and if weather permits, the demolition will take place in that time period or before then. And if weather permits, we'll start at that time period, and if not, we'll go a little bit further when it warms up. But we're hoping that we can get started in December. So, Mike, do you want to take it from there?
Yeah, I think I'm going to walk you through these PDFs.
And Mike, before you do that, let me
Yes.
just define who we is. For those of you who do not know, Cornerstone Community Partners, Chris Gigliotti, the person that just introduced Mike Donovan, Haley Donovan Architectural Firm of Camden, is a joint venture partner with PBCIP in developing this project, along with Sinair, a community development financial institution that has main offices in Delaware, and also some development-related offices in the Midwest, Milwaukee, I do believe. So just wanted to make sure everybody was clear about who that consists of. And, this is a project that will be going before the planning board on July 12th. So please ask all questions now, so that any tweaks or any, concerns can be addressed now. And, we can make sure that we're hearing from the community in terms of what you see and what could potentially be concerning and or what you really like about the project. So thank you.
And last time we did have a preliminary site plan approval for this site. People did come out and support it, and we really appreciate that. And all your feedback, we really do appreciate. So we have, this is on the, I'm going to try to walk through in PDF version. There's 24 units, a bigger building on the corner of Euclid and Haddon, right near Lady of Lords. And then there's a couple blocks down the street, there's an 8-unit project with some retail on the ground floor. I'm going to show you that building. And then we have 10 scattered site projects, which are going to be for sale townhomes that are just twins, basically. And then I'm hoping to maybe fly you around if the computer cooperates with me. But I first wanted to start with the 2D presentation. And much of this you guys have seen if you've been to these community outreach, informative sessions. You've seen this and it hasn't changed much at all. So this is like I said, this is Euclid and Haddon. This portion of the building, there's 3 floors of office, and then we're hoping retail on this ground floor coming through here. This is a conventional plan showing some of the uses. We have a nice large fitness center. The main entry to the residential is a lobby here. There's a parking lot that's accessed from Princess Ave that you can get into that lobby either from Haddon or from Princess Ave parking lot. And there's a nice outdoor seating area that the residents and a possible restaurant could pour out onto. There's an additional parking here. And then there's a few smaller retail spaces, and then a lobby for the office building and some back of house stuff back here, trash and meters and stuff like that. This is when you go to the second floor, this is a typical floor for the apartments, and it's each one is 4 apartments, 1s and 2s, mostly 2 bedrooms. And then this is a big open office currently. The next floor is floor 3, is very similar to the floor 2. We do have this outdoor seating areas, even for the office to work outside and get outside. And each one of these apartments is a big open plan with outdoor decks on each apartment. The 4th floor is, this shows possibly how this office could be utilized. We have a lot of interest in this space being filled, and a lot of different folks interested in it. So we're excited about that. And we've also just been working with the team to try to get that leased up. Then there's a big green roof with a roof deck, again, to promote that outdoor. Going through this pandemic, we all learned from it and want to create good, clean living in outdoor spaces that everyone could, utilize. This is a rendering from the corner this is again, Euclid and Haddon. And this ground floor, you have nice high ceilings. for the retail and commercial, 3 floors of offices, and then this is all the apartments down there. We have a nighttime shot to show, we're kind of thinking about how this place looks at night, how it's lit up. Another day shot, more straight on, looking more at the apartments, and you can see the outdoor decks and stuff like that. A night shot of that same perspective. And then this is the rear, that's the parking lot, has a tuck under parking. This is the outdoor areas for the offices, and this is the apartments in the back there. And Princess Ave is on our right, and there's a parking lot beyond. I think another exhibit will probably show that a little bit better. That's at night, how it'll be lit up. And then this shows the back area. We're gonna have some shaded areas or sun areas that you could outdoor seating and eating. And there's a night shot of it. Again, a real lot of attention to the landscape and how it interacts with that, and the outdoor indoor blending of, you know, it just flows. This is the view from Princess to the back of the building, really adequately parked. Where we think we covered that really well, serves the needs of the building. You know, a lot of the on-street parking, you'll be able to get off that and get to those bigger parking lots. And this is just 3 views. I think all these views we kind of already saw. This is the retail view of the restaurant as it was conceived. Another view of the restaurant. The fitness center. It's going to be a nice large fitness center that we foresee being open to the community and the apartment. And then this is what the office floors, you know, one of the plans we came up with, a big open concept office plan. And the roof deck area, and, you know, showing all the outdoor amenities that we have. This is, again, an office plan that possibly could be used. And then we go up, show the apartments off, and they're going to be, you know, top line, big apartments, nice amount of square footage. You could see there 909 for the 2-bedroom, and 650 for a 1, which is a nice size. You know, we didn't reinvent the wheel, but we have a big open plan where it's living, dining, kitchen all flowing together. Same thing on the 1-bedroom, massive bedroom, lots of closets. You know, we tried to incorporate those working at home moments, you know, learning from the pandemic and reinventing the way people live. And then that's an overview of the apartments. You could see the big open plan. We'll have plank flooring and high-end fixtures, Energy Star compliant. It's gonna be very green. And then down the block, more on the corner of Atlantic and Haddon, closer to Fairs Market. Fairs Market's over here. This is a retail, and then above the retail here, there's 4 apartments per floor, 8 apartments there. And again, those are very similar size, and this is the corner perspective of how that's going to look. Fairs Market being here. This kind of intersects Haddon on an angle. There's a angled street intersecting that. And then going to the scattered sites, we have a twin here and then a single. It's kind of a prototype we've been coming up with, and it's reminiscent of the whole neighborhood, the way it's parking between the building but twins, and kind of suggesting that cornice work and front porches. And so it's pulling off of this, but it says of the time, and it's modern and it's new, and it's meets the needs of today's world. And this is the floor plan here. You can see the front porches, big open plan, kitchens in the back, living, dining, kitchen here. We've been developing these also with the group, and I think these probably are a little further along, but they're not ready to present in this manner. So, but we've been working back and forth with Bridget and team to get that just the way we want it. And then this is if it's not a twin and it just has a single family, and there's going to be 9 new homes built, and one's going to be rehabbed, and that one's on Haddon. And the rehab one is going to look like this when it's it's just basically putting a new face to the building and freshening it up. So that's going to make up for 10 units. And I already showed you the 32, 24, 8, and then 10 here. So you can see this is really going to make a big impact on the neighborhood, and I think in a really positive way. And we're really excited to be part of this team. There's a perspective of the outside of that. I am going to fly you around because we did kind of this wood area the team wasn't thrilled with, so we came up with a few new concepts there. I'm going to show you, try to fly you around. This is showing all the elevations, and we've got site plan approval for this. I think we may even have final site plan approval for this one.
We do, yes.
Okay.
And the project is fully funded at this point as well.
Yeah. So this was well received by the town, and because of your guys' support and coming out and to the planning board, and it really helped out. We appreciate that. And now I'm going to just fly you around a little bit. This is the bigger building that's on Haddon and Euclid. And my team does these models, so I'm going to try to navigate a little bit. Excuse me if I'm get you guys dizzy. But you could see the back there, and this is that the roof deck area that we're really and this is that back patio area. And let me get back to this other view. This is looking more at the face of the building. You can see the fitness center there at the ground floor, big high ceilings, outdoor spaces. Then the other building down the block is, let me see if this comes up here. Click this one. Yeah, this is the other building down the street. And we'll have rear parking in that one. And this is 4 per floor, 8 apartments, and there's parking in the back. And then very quickly, I know I'm running a little long, I apologize, but let me show you the, this is the twins and townhomes for sale. We're loving it. It kind of is reminiscent of the old, but still has that new face. And we're really excited to be working on this. We think we have a great place to live here. It's going to have parking. Each apartment will have a space. I mean, each home will have a space. So you'll have it right next to your home. And the back areas, it's a little bit more, tiny bit more modern back there because we don't have that historic fabric in the front. But a lot of brick, durable materials that will stand the test of time and will be very, durable and green. And I would like to open up for any questions. I know I went kind of quick through that, but we did have limited time.
You know, I'd like to say that there's 10 one-bedrooms with the multifamily. The balance are 2 bedrooms. There's also 4 supportive housing units as a part of the 32 units. The rental rate for the 1 bedrooms are in the 900 range. For the 2 bedrooms, they're mixed income, and the units that are at 60% of area mean income are a little over 1,000, and the other units go up to $1,150 per month.
I got a question. It's Gary Brooks from American Water. On your condo twin units,
Yes.
I see you got parking in between the homes, which is really good because it eliminates a lot of on the street parking. Did you ever think on entertaining doing some type of impervious coverage for the sidewalk, you know, for the driveway area, rather than just putting all concrete down, maybe going with that type of paver, I forget what it's called, where you drive on and the grass grows up in between. So
yeah. So grass pavers, yeah.
It'll be a little bit more green, and it'll actually help mitigate a lot of the street flooding and just the high impact of the rain on the, aging combined sewer system within the city.
Yeah, I think we could consider that. I think that's a good idea, and we'll have to get with our civil engineer and see. I think maybe we were okay on impervious coverage, so we didn't need any variances there. But it always is nice. I know there's occasionally some issues in this area with flooding, so anything you could do to mitigate that.
Yeah, it would have a big impact on a lot of stuff for the city, with helping with their long-term control plan and stuff like that. So we're trying to constantly look for green places, green areas where we can help absorb some of this rainfall. And it's just something I figured I'd throw out there. I mean, it looked like pretty decent size areas, and if give the water a place to go and all the stuff off of the rooftops and everything, it'll definitely help the collection system in the city.
Yeah. Gary, as you're saying that, being sensitive to the stormwater runoff, we took extra precautions with the multifamily, and we have bioretention in each of the buildings, and we went above what the code requires to incorporate as little impact as possible.
Good to know.
This is Patricia. I have a question.
Sure.
In the retail area from Euclid Avenue down to wherever the first building stop, will there be parking on Haddon Avenue for the retail stores?
Yes.
They can still be able to still park on Haddon Avenue?
Yes, the parking that is there will still be maintained. Yeah.
Okay. And even further down between Fairs and the new homes that besides their off-street parking, will they be parking? Because usually most families now are having 2 and 3 cars to one family.
Yes. Yes, we met the requirements of the planning board for parking, and then there will be still maintaining the on-street parking too.
Okay. And also my concern, well, I guess it's a concern, yeah, because it's going to make the rest of our house, this will make the rest of our houses look kind of shabby, because it's a totally different, it's a Haddonfield concept. And the houses on Princess Avenue and the houses further down on Haddon and the houses that are on Haddon Avenue before you get to the space where you're going to put the new homes in there, it's going to be a totally odd look. When you look, it's like, oh, look at this modern area right here, and oh, here's the ghetto, because the homes will be there's no, you can't compare them.
Yeah, I mean,
So, Miss Rogers, one of
Yes.
the things that we were very thoughtful and really thought through that. And I wouldn't say that the other homes are going to look like they're in the ghetto, but what we were able to do, and American Water was actually helpful with this in supporting our neighborhood revitalization tax credit program to the tune of $950,000. I'm sorry, our neighborhood revitalization tax credit application. And so we have a set aside of funding, and we're not going to release any information about it because we still need to
Okay.
put together the details. But it's a facade program for homeowners. And so we're going to talk more about that. And so we'll be able to provide that for families who live within those blocks where the development will be taking place. So primarily 1400 block of Princess, 1400 block of Kenwood, and the 1200 block of Empire Avenue. So we did think about that.
I have a
Okay.
question.
All right.
All
Do you have
right.
any big sizes?
This is Oscar Spencer. I have a question.
yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
In looking at the drawing for Haddon and Euclid, I didn't see a drawing on how it's going to affect those homeowners on Princess back in. So I see the parking. So how's that going to affect the homeowners that live on that side of the street and the opposite side of the street, Princess Avenue on that end?
Well, there
'Cause
is
you have it in your drawing, but I mean, I'm just looking outside the box. People who may come to the meeting may want to see how that's going to affect them, how they park, how other cars may be able to park or may not be able to park.
Yeah, I think currently there is a building that's going to be knocked down. There's two buildings on the site to make way for that building, and they are probably even closer to those houses. I'm trying to pull up that view, that bird's eye view, but I'm having an issue here.
So it won't affect those homes that are not a part of it. They will still have their regular parking in front of their houses. That was
correct.
basically my question.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
So all I'm saying is probably, I think it would be a good idea in your conceptual drawing, if you would show the street and show houses that are already there and where those houses will still park and where the people will come in the back end on the new project and be able to park in there.
Yes. Yeah, because we're not going to overload Princess Avenue because we're going to have, I don't remember exactly how many it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 20 spots of off-street parking. So it might even alleviate some of the, parking along Princess Ave. And then we have an additional lot here also. So I think the parking situation is very well handled. And, I don't think it's going to adversely affect at all the neighborhood.
We're trying to take it aesthetically. We're trying to do nice landscape buffers around the parking with fencing and landscaping too, Oscar.
This is Councilman Chris Collins. I'd like to chime in off of what Oscar Spencer was saying. I actually live on that block of Princess, and I can tell you right now, there are no more 1 and 2 car homes because the kids done grew up. So a lot of those homes are 3 car and 4 cars, and parking is a problem. We have one of our firefighters that just built a driveway so he can park in his yard with his vehicles, and I'm in the process of building a driveway in my backyard. It is a problem on Princess, so keep in mind you have a lot more residents that's going to be moving in. If they're going to be parking back there, it's fine where you have the parking lots, but the retail spots, if they're going to be coming back, it may not present a problem during the early day when everyone's at work, but in the evenings it will be a problem.
Yeah, and any of the scattered site stuffs where we're doing those twins and single family stuff, there is going to be off-street parking there. Anything we're adding, we're getting a lot of parking that will definitely serve the needs of the buildings.
I have a question if I can ask one. I don't know if like you have any information about this yet, but do you have any information about pricing of the units?
Chris, maybe you could speak to that, but I don't know if that at this time we have that.
I think Bridget could speak to the single families. With the multifamily rentals, as I said, there'll be 4 units that are supportive housing, and the rental rates will be very moderate. Then there'll be 1-bedroom units, and those rental rates will be in the 900 range, and then the 2-bedroom units, of which there's 22, those units will be 1,100 up to 1,175 per month.
Thank you.
And as Chris was mentioning, the rental prices for the 32 units, I think it's important for us also to mention where we are with the homes that are for sale. So the one home that's located on Haddon Avenue, we're projecting that the sales price for that will be $100,000. The remaining units on Princess Avenue, Kenwood Avenue, and Empire will be $129,000.
Okay, if there are no more questions in regards to this, I just want everyone to know I am having a small technical problem here where I don't know if it's because of my co-hosting or what it is, but I can't get my video to come back up. I did unmute myself finally, but I am having a bit of a problem. So Bridget may take over for a minute until my machine actually decides to do what it's going to do. But I want to thank Mike for the presentation and Chris Gigliotti for presentation on the Parkside 1 and 2 and the buildings that are coming in the residential areas. And there's going to be more on this. We're going to see, some more things happening as it's going forward. So stay in touch with PBCIP. Look at our website, which would definitely give you more information. Follow our Facebook page, which will give you more information. So that way we can, all stay on point. The questions that were asked tonight are great questions. And, for those that are residents in that immediate area, it's always important to know what's about to happen in the area that you live in. So moving right along without a share screen, I'm going to.
Okay, I'm gonna stop my share then, if that's okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
And Sheila, can I just mention that if there are any questions beyond tonight, feel free to reach out to any of us, myself or Sheila. And you're going to be getting additional information about the July 12th planning board meeting. So thank you all.
So our planning board meetings are really important. So it's really something that you should stay in tune with and stay in touch with. We go hard at planning boards. I just think we should know that Parkside is very strong in what it wants to do. And when we're all on the same page, we make things happen. So just stay tuned for all the information. We will definitely bring you up to date. Now,
and one last thing, Sheila, one last thing. I'm sorry. And then I will be quiet. Assemblyman Spearman, Councilman Collins, if there's anything else that you think we need to prepare in order to alert the community, engage the community, please share that with us as well. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
July 12th, Monday, or July 13th, Tuesday?
Thought it was July 12th.
I was told July 12th. The last planning board meeting that we participated in was on a Monday as well. So that's the date I've been given. Mike, I guess you guys would have to confirm that, or Chris.
I did have that as the date. Yeah. So that's what I thought it was too, the 12th.
Thank you.
It's to my understanding that the 13th is a council meeting.
Okay. All right, so we have this down where we know it's going to be on the 12th. Is that it?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
All right, so
I'm sorry, I
great.
have to drop off. But thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming, Mike. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
So our next guest is going to be, I'm going to do a little bit of an interchange here. So my next guest is going to be an introduction of our second ward councilman, which is my friend and my baby brother, kind of, sort of, Chris Collins, who is also the editor of the Anointed News Journal. He has been there for over 25 years, who has been it's been a beacon of light for the city of Camden to bring all of the positives that Camden can offer. Sometimes people feel differently about that, but we have not, in my opinion, find a negative in it that has presented Camden in a negative light since he started. So I'd like to present to you our new councilman for Second Ward, Pastor Chris Collins.
Thank you, Sheila, for that introduction, and to everyone that is part of this Zoom. I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your representation for the Second Ward. I want to thank Bridget Pfeiffer and the Parkside business community and partnership for all the work that they're doing in Parkside, and to the many residents that are out there working on behalf of our community. I'm honored to be able to serve as the council person for the Second Ward. Most of you know that I'm the publisher, the editor, and CEO of the Anointed News Journal. And for 27 years, we've done nothing but highlight the positives of Camden. And we share Camden with 28 states and 10 countries around the world. So I want to thank my good friend, Oscar Spencer, because when I was a kid in Hatch Middle School, my mom would make me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and get in the car with Oscar Spencer and go deliver USA Today newspapers. And he's the first person that ever put a camera in my hand. So whether he realized it or not, the Anointed News Journal is a reflection of all his teachings that he gave to me as a young man. So I thank him. I'm excited to be able to serve the residents of the Second Ward. Since day one, I received many calls from the community. What I have here is a journal that I keep. Not only do I return the phone calls, but every issue that comes across my desk, I record it. I document the return calls. I document the progress that's being made and the outcomes. And if the constituents have not received outcomes, then I make phone calls to the proper department so that we can get back on top of things. What I've learned in my short month or 3 or 4 weeks of being a council person, and I'll say this for those that may not have confidence in my abilities, serving on council is not just about casting a vote of who gets the contract and who don't. It's about the everyday issues that our residents have, whether it's an abandoned boat in an alleyway behind the property, whether it's tenant landlord issues, whether it's the mailman's not bringing mail up to my apartment, or whether it's some lights out and it's dark or drug activity. We address them all. I work closely with our committee members and try to keep them engaged so that we can do things as a team. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you and making myself available so that we continue to move Parkside forward and keep it beautiful. I do have some things on the table that I would like to tackle. I had conversation with Assemblyman Moen as far as Farnham Park, and I see Assemblyman Spearman on as well. And I was told that there is some extra funds for park beautification and things. I've also talked to Commissioner Nash in reference to that Farnham Park. And I know that's not one of the parks that the county have, but in a collaboration or partnership with the city, we should be able to get some things done. And just yesterday, we talked about streets that's going to be resurfaced, and a number of those streets are in the second ward and some are in Parkside. So we'll be seeing some movement with streets being repaved real soon. So again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. I'm right there on Princess and Lansdowne. That's where I reside. And those of you, many of you know my office is downtown on 2nd Street between Market and Cooper. But I'm here to serve, and I appreciate the work relationships that I have with many of you. And it's real easy to find me, to contact me, and feel free to reach out to me. And I'll do my best to serve you as best as I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Having a Parkside resident that's been here all his life and understand, the city and its outskirts all around the city is very important for all of us, because it gives us a completely different view of, things that maybe we don't really recognize. So having someone that has that kind of ability to be able to see things from that perspective is very important for all of Camden, as well as just the second ward. We appreciate the fact that our illustrious senior Oscar Spencer was the real reason and the counterpart that helped you to get to where you are. So, it's like, the kings, they pass on the baton. So every king passes on the baton to the next one. So the crown is now being worn by the new person. So it'll keep happening. And as long as we keep doing that and keep on utilizing our young people and bringing them into the fold and giving them a reason why they should do something different, that's exactly what'll happen. So thank you so much, Pastor Collins. We will, we got a lot to do, a lot of work to do. He is available to you when you need him, just like our assemblyman is, just like our mayor is. Our whole Parkside community is very strong right now. Our mayor, our councilman, our assemblyman, our school board president, the city attorney. Parkside is strong right now. And we need to utilize our strengths, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. We need to bring forth all of the ideas that we've had, and we need to also do things that we probably didn't think we could do. So, COVID has taught us how to separate ourselves from each other. Now COVID is teaching us how to come back together. And in coming back together, this is what we need to do. So with that being said, I'm going to move on. It's getting into our 6:45 hour. And I'm going to bring on American Water. Alicia, I'm going to make you a co-host, even though we can't see me, but I can still do that part for some strange reason. I still don't know what the other part is, why it won't let me do things. But I would like to bring Alicia, I think I said her name right, Barbieri. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. From American Water, she's going to talk about the construction that American Water is going to bring and what it's going to do in the community, how it's going to affect us, and the quality of life that it's going to bring to us. So I want to introduce to all Ms. Alicia Barbieri of American Water.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you to the entire Parkside community for this opportunity. We're thrilled to be here this evening. I'm joined by a number of my colleagues as well as our counterpart in the city, so they might jump in and out throughout the presentation. So I'm sure they'd be happy to introduce themselves when they jump on, but I'm actually going to hand it off to Joey Rodriguez to kick us off.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Alicia. Super excited to be here, getting a chance to interact and speak with all of you. And just wanted to, again, introduce myself. My name is Joey. I think I was on a call last month, but I'm new to American Waters. It's been just over 2 months as a new external affairs specialist. So I'll make sure to leave my information in case anyone ever wants to chat. We can definitely do so. But before I pass it back to Alicia, just wanted to kind of jump into things on a larger scale, higher up, and just show you a bit of an overview of American Water's footprint here in Camden. So just looking at the image here, you'll see that East Camden and Cramer Hill neighborhoods just east of the Cooper River, those are owned and operated and serviced by New Jersey American Water, and they've been servicing this area for many, many years. The other 2/3 of the city, you will see their water systems are owned by the city, and the city has contracted with American Water to operate and service these areas and to maintain them. So working collectively, we're making sure that we are, trying to, offering the high quality water, safe water for all the residents here in the city. In order to do that, and if you go ahead right to the next slide, what we do on a regular basis is to monitor and sample the waters that run through the city, so that we are constantly meeting or surpassing all of the drinking water in the city. Oh, wait, my screen froze for a second. There we go. So regularly monitoring and checking the waters to ensure that they meet or surpass all of the standards that are set by the federal and state levels. And so what's released now also is our latest water quality reports that we invite you all to get a chance to take a look at when you would like. So those of you who live in the Kramerhurst East Camden neighborhood are welcome to check it out on the New Jersey amwater.com site. And the other parts of the neighborhood are able to go to amwater.com/Camden to check those out. Go ahead and write to the next slide, Alicia. As we are entering the summer months, it's always, as you all notice, we are feeling the heat over these past couple of days. But this is a great time for us to really jump in and to just remind our residents of some wise water tips. And so really working to conserve the resource that we have of water, we encourage residents to think about how they use it. And so whenever it comes to keeping our properties clean and upkept, definitely want to make sure that we try either sweeping as opposed to watering down our properties, and thinking about our areas as well, looking at how the forecast can support us in ways that we don't have to overwater lawns or gardens and things like that. We can use Mother Nature to give us a helpful hand in that process. Jumping to the next one, it's also a great reminder to think about fire hydrants as well and helping to keep our neighborhoods safe. We encourage residents to avoid using hydrants as sources to cool off and see what local pools and splash pads and waterways are available for you to cool down. We ask that if you do see any fire hydrants that are open, that you report that to the number that are there, just to make sure that everyone is safe in this process. And cleaning streets, Clean Camden, our street sweeping initiative is up and running. The first full week of every month is when the street sweeper will come by. So we encourage residents to think about their neighborhoods and know what day they're scheduled for the street sweeper to come by. And collectively as a group and community, we work together to try to clean up as much of the trash that we possibly can. So that's removing cars on the day that your scheduled sweeper comes by, working to make sure that the trash is properly stored so that it avoids its way into the street, and keeping inlets and areas like that clean, so that the water flow can be great, but that our neighborhoods are also looking really good. And then we're going to go right to the next one. Thank you, Alicia. And then I'm going to go ahead and tap Adam, if you want to talk a little bit about inlets and what the images are here.
Sure, Joey. Actually, I'm gonna call on Gary Brooks to do this. We do have an Adopt the Inlet program. So, Gary, if you're still on.
Yes. Yeah, what we have here, these are some images of some inlets throughout the city. Some of them are the combined sewer inlets that we have within the city. As you can see, some of to your left side, these are your non-curbed back inlets. This is just your typical debris that you see on them. Generally, what is being asked of the residents, the Adopt the Inlet. If you have an inlet out in front of your house, kindly sweep them up, remove the debris off the top. If you're unable to, give us a call and I'll gladly dispatch a crew to go out there and clean the tops of the inlets off. And then while they're out doing the tops of the inlets, they also inspect the actual container or the basin is where all the water runs into. The far picture to the right is a cleaned inlet where this was on 2nd and Clinton. They removed all the debris off the top, went down and removed tons of material out of these things. Just on the street sweeping alone, we average between 60 and 80 tons a month coming off from the street sweeper. And as far as inlet cleaning, same thing. We're removing tons of material every month out of these inlets. So if you can do anything, residents, to help, alleviate some of this stuff getting into the inlet and then entering into our combined sewer system. Just makes things a lot better for the community. Any questions?
Doesn't look like any so far, so I'll take it from here. Thanks, Joey. Thanks, Gary. You know, all of this, just taking a proactive approach, it just falls into the concept of, you know, what we live by. It's that we take water quality and safety very seriously. So what we really wanted to dive into next is why we're here, right? So I just wanted, oh, was there a question? I'm sorry. No. Okay, sorry. Again, before we dive into the larger project, just wanted to highlight how we got here. So over the last few months, we, along with the city, have made a couple of announcements on next steps to remain compliant with new water quality standards mandated by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for emerging compounds. And I think it's important to note that these compounds are impacting water systems across the country and are not specific to Camden. However, New Jersey is ahead of the curve regarding these regulations, and to prepare for them, we have been working together with the city for several years on an operational plan that will continue to provide safe drinking water to the Camden community, as well as provide adequate quantity for pressure for essential services in the city. Our first announcement was focused on compliance, and in order to maintain water quality compliance, the city significantly reduced the use of its Parkside wells and has removed a number of wells in the Morris Delaire well field from service. To supplement the water system, the city entered into a 10-year bulk water agreement with New Jersey American Water. And in the announcement, we stressed that this agreement would not impact service to customers and would be a seamless transition of water supply. The second announcement highlighted the two-phase improvement project plan in the city, again, while we're here today. And we aim to work closely with the city, the Parkside community, and other local stakeholders to provide up-to-date information on this project and the area that it impacts. So I don't have a full screen of individuals on the call, but if Councilmember Collins is on, we might be tapping you soon for some recommendations. So getting into the project. The first phase is underway with some pilot testing, design engineering, and permitting for the Parkside facility, with the construction to begin late summer. The project will take approximately 6 to 8 months to achieve operational completion, and hopefully you can all see my screen. There's an orange cone in the middle there. The building will be situated on the vacated portion of Vesper Boulevard, with the hope of minimal disruption to residents and businesses. I also want to kick this over to Jim at the city, who will just give a little bit more detail on the conceptual layout. So Jim, if you're on, you could take it from here.
Sure, Alicia. Hi, I'm Jim Hopkins. I'm the city's consulting engineer for the water and sewer operations. American Water is under a 10-year contract with the city to operate and maintain its water and sewer systems. And as part of that contract, the city is also given them a capital improvements project to address the changing requirements for regulatory systems, which basically is to treat what's called PFAS chemicals, which basically are man-made chemicals that appear in almost everything we use. From a standpoint, they were developed in the 1940s. They use, you see them in basically stain-resistant treatments, Teflon coatings, and all these other different things. And they're basically an everlasting chemical, and they've been found to have some adverse health impacts by the EPA, and the state has basically jumped ahead of the federal curve and started processes to, or regulatory requirements to do that. We have done testing for the last several years to address those issues. And as a result of the fact that the South Jersey area here is and was a very high industrial area, there is a high concentration of this material that falls over the federal regulations and the New Jersey regulations, actually. And so we've had to develop a process to do that. The normal municipal scenario starts out with a selection of an engineering firm, the building a design, then you put it out for bids, and then the construction starts. What we've done here with American as the city's partner is to kind of short circuit that time process. And as mentioned, these issues were identified in October, and we expect to have basically all this stuff online. So we're looking at a 14-month turnaround time, which is a kind of a very, strong, turnaround on time. In that process, we're looking at building, as it says in the very center of this picture, a proposed GAC building. That's a granulated activated carbon building, which is very similar to if maybe you have filters on your home sink faucets that treat the water to take, say, the chlorine taste out and different things. That same chemical is largely used in treating water, and that will take out these PFASs, from the process. So on that one lane of that loop section of the road, we're going to take and put a building there. It'll be a pre-engineered, which is basically a steel building with probably a veneer on the outside that try to make it at least so it fits in with the decor, and move that building into that location so that we can continue this process as quickly as possible. We're looking on the left side, if you look there, the black line, we're looking at backing up the fence line that goes up against the sidewalk right now, back it up a little bit to kind of put some additional parking spaces on a head-in basis to kind of address the issue that, this is next to the playing fields at the high school. And we want to make sure that if anything, we can offer a couple more parking spaces in that area, and then access gates, which will go in to allow the industrial equipment trucks that take material in and out for the city process operations from here. Like was mentioned, it's on a design build contract, which is a fast track approach. American has awarded that contract. They're working on those issues now. They're going to the zoning hearing board in July, same time frame as the previous project was. And so if you're going for one, you can basically hear more details on this project too there. Make that presentation to go from there, looking for the approvals from the city. And late summer, American's subcontractors will begin construction work in the activity then. Again, is there any questions from that standpoint to just kind of get a feel for what's here? Okay. Alicia, I'll turn it back to you.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I just wanted to reference, I know you talked a little bit about the emerging compounds, but I think it's important to note that the water in the Camden system currently meets or surpasses all drinking standards under the Safe Drinking Water Act. We are just continuing to make these improvements to the city, again, taking that proactive approach. So thanks, Jim, for sharing all of that. And then another item I just wanted to add regarding the project, that more details will be coming soon, but there is a phase 2 that will address emerging compounds at the Morris Delaware well fields, and that work will commence in late 2022. So,
let me add a little bit to that, Alicia,
sure.
Just so everybody understands. The city's water system is a groundwater system, right? And it's fed by a series of wells. The majority of them are located in the Morris Delaware area, and a small portion of them here in Parkside. The Parkside is like 25% of the city's water system. So in order to get this done as quickly as possible, and right now, as Alicia mentioned, we are buying water to basically offset those wells that have been taken offline, and we'll be doing the same thing continuing over the next 2.5 years for that. And the American Water Corporation, with New Jersey American specifically, as mentioned, we have a 10-year agreement. That 10-year agreement under the public utility regulations is what allows them to give the city a preferred price for purchased water. Right? Obviously, when you generate your own, it's the most economical position, but buying the water on a 10-year agreement allows the city to maximize its return and minimize its cost. Sorry.
No apologies. Just wanted to see if Adam or Brian, if you wanted to jump in at all. If not, I can keep going.
I think Jim did a really good job on the project. If there's any questions, we can answer them, but I don't have anything to add, Alicia.
Me neither, Alicia. Just to echo Jim's sentiments with the Parkside, we are under the regulations at the Parkside water treatment plant. That's why it's currently running. Just wanted to make everybody aware of that.
Great, thank you both. So really just to wrap up our presentation, again, I'm sure we'll be in contact with this group as more details and the plans really develop, but I wanted to point out that we do have a variety of resources available on amwater.com/Camden. Some of the information really points to what was discussed today. There's FAQs, there's the Camden CSG water quality reports that Joey had mentioned in the beginning. We have quarterly newsletters that we put up there. Hopefully many of you get them. The street sweeping information and schedule and more. So if there's anything else that, we can answer today, great, we're here and we'd love to, hear from the community. If not, I think Joey and I will both add our information to the chat so that way if there's any questions after the fact, we're happy to answer them.
There was one, I saw someone pop up a question about where they were cleaning the inlet in front of their place and that it frequently floods, which is one of the issues that's a long-term objective of what's called the long-term control plan, in that the city's infrastructure is 125 years average old from that standpoint. A lot of things we remove a significant amount, thousands of tons of material from the system each year to keep it clean. Those flow restrictions, and then also the fact that during a storm event, just to give you an idea of the system and the dynamics of it, an average 1 inch, say, heavy rainstorm generates about 100+ million gallons of water. The sewer system in Camden can carry about 1/3 of that away at a time. So basically, in order to drain the water out of the streets, the pipe fills up and drains 3 times to get rid of it all. If it's blocked partially and it hasn't been completely cleaned, it may take another iteration for that to go through. But that's the city's effort, and that's the control plan that's being implemented with CCMUA and Gloucester City, since our systems are adjacent to one another, to kind of address that. And the effort of the public in keeping the trash and debris out of the system offers a tremendous advantage to the city and being able to most effectively keep everything gone as well as it can. You're welcome.
Okay. So with technology, I'm back to normal. Just want to make sure. This is a challenge, guys. This is a challenge. It's really hard to do when you're like over 50, and I can't say nothing to anybody that's in the 50 range, but this is a challenge. However, this project is something that we've been looking at for a while, and I really appreciate Alicia and Joey, bringing this the way that they're bringing it to us, because one thing about our area is making sure that we're hands-on, like we know what's going on. So the more we can do this, if anything changes between now and say September, to come back and say, okay, Sheila, we need to go back on one of the meetings to be able to tell people what's getting ready to happen next, because what Parkside doesn't like is surprises. They don't like surprises. They want to be involved with what's going on. So they can say to you or say to us, this is the changes that we would like to see, or these are the changes that we think is going to be, too cumbersome for us. So thank you, baby. How you doing? For you? Water for the mayor? Maybe in the refrigerator? I'm not sure. Excuse me. There's 2 meetings going on here at one time. I have a whole meeting going on upstairs and the mayor is upstairs and we're down here. So if not, let me know. I'll get some for him. Yes, American Water is a new staple, not really a new staple, but it's a staple in our community now. And looking at, the 4 areas that you guys basically service is very important to us because of the fact that, water quality is the most important part of our life right now. If we didn't have water, we would die. That's the long and the short of it. We can't stay clean. We can't do this. We can't do a whole lot of things. So we need something that's going to actually have the right information And we would like to be more involved with American Water. We want to be more in tune with what you're doing and how you're doing it. Not just that. None in there? Okay, I'll be up in a minute. We want to be more in tune with what's going on and everything. So that way, it's kind of like a family affair, kind of, sort of. So American Water is new to some people. We just got finished going through a whole thing with, I think it was United Water that we were in before. And our relationship, we didn't have. We didn't have one. We just paid the bills and they did what they wanted. And that was it. Now we're having a relationship, and this is a good thing. So if there's any questions or any more questions regarding the upcoming project that American Water is bringing, or if there's anything that anyone would like to question, or, you know, any comments or anything they would like to make regarding American Water, you know, please feel free to do so in the chat. You can talk to Alicia or Joey or James. Okay, I got everybody now in the chat. So then that way, you know, we can have different conversations going on while we're having other things going on at the same time. So I appreciate it. If there's nothing else, Alicia, Joey, anything else? We're good?
No, just thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much.
I just have a quick question, Sheila.
Okay.
Joey and Alicia, just a quick question. Who should we be talking to at American Water about infrastructure, water, sewer issues along a major corridor, which just happens to be Haddon Avenue? There are several properties, businesses that have suffered, and homeowners. And so I don't want to take up time now to discuss it, but who should we be reaching out to directly at American Water?
So we are aware of the situation. We work very closely with the city. My suggestion would be to reach out to, if you have any questions, specific questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can work with Jim, unless Jim has a different way of handling the situation.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And let me just add, if it's an emergency type situation where you need an immediate response, American does have a 24-hour call number, and that's posted on the site so that you can get an immediate response if there's an issue of dire consequence or concern.
Thank you, Jim, for putting that out. Yes, I will not be available 24/7 for emergencies, so I would not be the correct person to reach if that were to happen. So, but Bridget, any specific questions, shoot them over to me. I put my email in the chat, not a problem.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
In all, I did post our customer service number in the chat. This is Gary Brooks from American Water.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, somebody just asked me, is the mayor really upstairs? I'm like, yeah, he's really upstairs. So I'm in I'm in the Camden County Historical Society. And I don't know if anybody's been here. I don't know who knows about this place. This place is amazing. It's amazing. I'm in the library right now, and there's so much history around me regarding Camden County and everything about it. You know, before any of these buildings were here, any house, any street, any road, everything that was Camden County is in this building. So, you know, when we open in September or reopen in September, this is a great place to come to get history on the area that we live in. Parkside is an amazing place. The history of Parkside is phenomenal. So we really should do that because of the fact that the more you know about the place you live in, the easier it is to deal with projects that are coming, because you know about how the infrastructure got to be the way it is, why it is the way it is, and the changes that are needed because of how old it may be. So it makes it a little bit easier instead of it being like, oh, you're just going to destroy this and you're going to start something else. So it's really cool to come here to be a part of it. And I'm using this as my home office tonight because my actual home office is extremely hot because my air conditioner is not working right now. So, that's the situation there is. So we want to thank American Water, Alicia Barbieri, and Joey Rodriguez, and James Hopkins. Okay, I like his last name. That's like the Hopkins Hospital in Maryland where I was born. Okay, we're good. So we're going to go forward now and continue our night. It's like 7:15. I have Emma Freeman. Hi, Emma. How are you? I'm going to bring Emma on. Emma is with Food Trust. Jonathan Wetstein is part of our team, and he's with our Roots to Market, Roots to Prevention program. I don't know if he is actually on. I can't find him. He said he was going to call in. Something was wrong. I guess he was having technicals like I was too. But right now, I'm just going to bring Emma in. Emma, do you need to be a co-host to make any presentations?
Yes, please.
All right, I'll take care of that. Finally, I can do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's nothing like being frozen, honestly. Okay, good. Okay. So for those who do not know, Emma, give them just an insight on what the Food Trust is and why you are a part of what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for letting me come and speak for a few minutes. So I work for the Food Trust. And for those of you that don't know, this is our first meeting, specifically a Parkside community meeting, but we have worked in the community of Parkside for many years, and with Jonathan Wetstein on the Roots to Prevention initiative. We've been working in the city, the Food Trust has been working in the city for about 10 years. We work on the Healthy Corner Store Network in the city of Camden. And that is specifically what this presentation is going to be about. So many of you in Parkside are very familiar with fairs. I know it was already mentioned in an earlier presentation. And so we really just wanted to come and get a little input from the community on a mural project that we're hoping to kick off at Fairs Market. And so I just wanted to go over quickly the goals and processes kind of behind this project. So we really wanted to just tag Fairs Market as a healthy hub in the community. Many of you that are residents in the community know that we have the food box program at Fairs Market and have been able to increase the access to healthy and fresh produce at Fairs Market. They've expanded a lot since we've started that program there. And then we also wanted to just celebrate Fairs Market as a shopping point in the city with colorful and fun designs. I know many people come from around the city to shop at fairs. And so before we kind of got to this point, we consulted the store owners about what produce are the majority of Parkside residents and Fairs Market shoppers buying. And then we wanted to incorporate that into some mock-up mural designs. And so these are just some images that we had kind of put together. We're not tied to anything. And this is a very quick presentation and just kind of wanted to show you all some designs that we had been kind of kicking around based on what produce residents at Fairs Market, are most, frequently consuming. And so these are just a few designs. We just wanted to kind of get some input in case there's anyone that's always had a burning desire to, decorate the big walls that around Fairs Market. And as was mentioned earlier, we just didn't want any surprises for the Parkside community as we kind of move forward in this project. And so really that's kind of all I wanted to present tonight, just get some feedback. In the next slide, if anyone has any feedback or questions or concerns, I'll also put my contact information in the chat. But again, we really just wanted to kind of invest in Fairs Market and be able to really beautify the walls and draw attention to this great shopping spot in the city of Camden that Parkside is lucky enough to have within their borders. So I'm happy to take any questions or concerns if anyone has any ideas. If not now, please reach out to me through email at a later date if anything comes to you.
Thanks, Emma. And this is Jonathan Wetstein with Roots to Market, Roots to Prevention. And just to kind of add that this is also a space that is redeeming our Food Bucks prescription, which is a voucher much like Food Bucks that is being prescribed by physicians at Virtua Health. One of the things that we're trying to do is make the Wellness Center over at Mount Ephraim a little bit more accessible to our families who are patients through the Virtua system, and ultimately Cooper as well. And one of those ways is making these prescription food bucks something that can be accepted at local neighborhood corner stores and farm trucks as well. So families do not have to make trips back to Virtua's Wellness Center to get fresh food for their families. And so fairs in a number of other locations, we're up to about 8 throughout the city, are now honoring these prescriptions, making it so much easier for patients to treat and maintain their wellness much more easily than they had in the past. And it's all because of this collaboration between the Food Trust, Virtua, PBCIP, and several other important partners. And so the next step is to really elevate these corner stores. And this is one of those great ways of doing so.
Yeah, thank you so much for adding that, Jonathan. And just to add as well, at Fayers Market, prior to COVID, we were having Camden County Department of Health come out and do monthly health screenings. So also just trying to bring additional health resources directly, into the community where people are shopping and feel comfortable.
Okay. Are there any questions for Food Trust from anyone in the audience? If not, you can actually, get in touch with Emma at her email and ask questions, or you can get in touch with Jonathan Wetstein with our office. This is something that's good for our community, bringing fresh produce into a community that's basically a food desert, something that we are trying to undo by getting at least one market here. The only market that we did have in Camden has actually closed. And we only have like smaller markets such as the Fayers and Cousins and Aldi's is not even in Camden. So we don't even have what you call like a food market in our city. And we need to really look at, how to do that. We do have a produce junction that's on Mount Ephraim Avenue. It's been there for a long time. But we're looking at stuff that's in the residential neighborhoods. We need things that's right at the corner stores. We need to be able to go and buy fresh tomatoes and fresh onions and fresh peppers and stuff like that to make salads and things of that nature, or cook whatever you're going to cook with. We shouldn't have to go and buy something that, has been there for a day or so, and then you take it home and it starts to decay almost immediately. That's a waste of money, a waste of time. It's just disgusting, in my opinion. But I do believe that, if we can work together with those who have actually, gone to school to get the education, and those that are trying to do better with the things that, we are doing in our societies, all of our societies, not just the Camden Society, but with all of our societies. I think that, we can actually teach our younger people a better way to live by way of the foods that they choose, teaching them that there are different ways to cook things and there's different ways to prepare things, and try eating something raw just to see what it tastes like, give it a shot. With that being said, reach out to, the Food Trust, reach out to the different, entities that do these things for our communities, give them your input and let them know what you need. They are open to suggestions all the time. So give them, what you need, let them know that you are, interested in what it is you're trying to grow in your own yard. And that's one of the big standing points right now, where you're growing your own vegetables, your own, foods in your own yards. It's good to be able to take care of self. And, in doing so, you take care of others around you as well, because you can't grow one tomato. It never works. I don't care how hard you try. So if you end up growing a whole bunch of them, you're not going to eat them. You're going to share them with your neighbors. And that's two for the price of one, at least at that point. So Emma, thank you so very much for the presentation. And Jonathan, I think he was on, but I think he had to jump off again. But thank you so much. And we will bring you back at some later date, just to do updates and see what's going on. And, you keep us posted on what we're going to do next.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. I still have people coming into my waiting room, so that's cool. So let me go to my next thing. So, before I go forward, Roxanne Hedgepeth, I see that you're on. Do you want to unmute yourself and give us an update on Parkside United Methodist and the food program? If you have the opportunity, I can't really see. There
Yeah,
you are.
I'm on.
Hi.
How you doing? I'm having technical
I'm
difficulties
good.
also. That's why I'm not on video.
That's okay.
But
Don't worry about it. As long as I can hear your voice.
Okay. So I just wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity. I just wanted to share with you guys. We are now going to we changed our dates because it appears that I understand there's several things going on in the city, and the demand for, believe it or not, food is not as we expected. But we are our food bank is open the last Saturday of the month from 10 a.m. to 12. p.m. And if you can't make it that time, you can always, I'll have Sheila give you my information. Can just give me a call. I'm usually at the church at least 2 or 3 times a week. And on the first Sunday from 12 to 2. I wanted to share a little bit of things we were graciously, well, we got a grant. And in August and September, we are looking to actually have anyone really, the residents of Camden, usually Camden County, but anybody in Camden County, but you can come outside of the areas too, come and actually shop and pick whatever you want. We got a really pretty good grant, and it's in collaboration with ShopRite. So it's nice because it's name brand stuff, and the city residents are more than welcome to come. So I will be giving you a flyer for that. And I just also wanted to let you know that we also teamed up with Area Health Education Center, and they're looking for a faith-based organization to team with them on a project on getting people vaccinated. And after, I think July, they're going to center in or concentrate in on COPD, high blood pressure, diabetes. So if you are interested in that, our church is part of it. It's a couple of other churches, and it's actually a cool grant because they actually train people to become health workers, and you can get credit for college. And that is in working with Martha Chavis at AHEC. So if anybody is interested, Sheila, I don't know how to tag or put my information in, but she could put my cell phone or my email, and I'd be glad to speak to anybody.
Okay. And do you have a thing at the top that says participants on yours?
Oh Lord.
If not, we'll just put it on our we have it on our e-blast for the most part. So if you give that the same flyer that you gave us, we have that information. So we normally use that on a weekly basis. And if there's anything that needs to be changed in that, we can change that. So if you send it to me, I'll send it to them, and they'll get it up there for you.
Perfect. But just the main thing, a good thing, not the main thing. I mean, we're always open for food, and we get really good stuff. It's not just stuff you can't use. It's like, that's why, matter of fact, on Sunday, I just got, I'm getting over 150 pounds of potatoes and string beans. So that'll be available between 12 and 2 on Sunday.
On Sunday, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you come on Kenwood side. If you want to come to church, you're welcome. But if not, you can come on Kenwood side, and I'm going to go there actually tomorrow and bag it up. But yeah.
So that's not going to interfere with the Sunday service?
No. It's more important to me to give out the food right now than I don't want to feel like it's not important, but no, it's important for me to do that.
So that's this Sunday between 10 and 12 on the Kenwood.
12 to 2. Yeah, 10 to 12 on Saturday.
10 and 12 on Saturday, 12 to 2 on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. And that's on the Kenwood Avenue side.
Yes.
Not the Kane Avenue side.
No.
So we want to make sure everybody do not go in the front doors of the church.
Right.
That's not what's happening. Go on the side doors of the church, which means that you have to go around and come down Kenwood Avenue, and it's on the right-hand side. So it's on that side of the on that side of the street.
Right. And we're going to try to make it a little easier for people. We just didn't want people hanging out in the front of on the sidewalk and people walking by and seeing them in line. We just want
absolutely.
But also, I know I'm taking up time, but if anybody knows anybody how to get rid of pallets, we have over like 40 pallets that they keep every time I get food, and we don't know how to get rid of them, where to get rid of them, or anything. So if you know anybody, they're free. You can have them. Just let me know.
Okay. We'll I'll look into I'll talk to DPW. Maybe they may know, where they go. I know I think there's a company in Camden that actually takes the pallets.
Oh, wonderful.
Sheila,
so yes, who's that?
That's Kevin. Well,
hey, Kev.
Hey, there's a company on 6th Street between Ferry and I forget the name of the company off the top of my head, but it's right on 6th Street. I'll get the
That's the one
information
I'm
for you.
talking
But
about, Kev.
yeah, it's
That's
a
the
pallet
one.
company that do nothing but pallets there.
Yeah.
They may have moved.
They may have moved, Michelle?
Well,
Recently.
they are buying that building on Madison Avenue, right across from from the old Price Right. I guess it's a shame to say old Price Right, but
Oh,
they're buying
yeah.
that building that used to have the flea market in it.
Yeah.
But they're renovating it now. But they're still on 6th Street, believe me, because we still have traffic problems there. So they're still there.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank
Real
you.
quick.
They're on 6th between Viola and Jefferson.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm?
So, Kev, since I have you, I don't know whether you have the information, but Captain Coley sent me a flyer regarding the Guardian Explorers program. Do you know about it?
I do know about it.
Okay, because I do
I don't
have the
really
flyer,
have.
and I could
I don't
I
have
could
all
read
the
the flyer.
information. Mhm.
Okay, I'll let you guys. I'll leave you out of it for the minute because I don't want, since you don't have all the information, but I do have a flyer that was sent to me, and I just want the public to know that this is a program that's going on with CCPD. Okay, so it is called the Guardians Explorers Program, and the mission of the Guardian Explorers Program is to increase youth civic engagement and community service, and to prepare participants ages 14 to 17 for potential employment as a Class 1 Special Law Enforcement Officer, or SLEO, upon graduation. The program will run for 4 weeks, starting July 14th until August 19th, on Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The program includes breakfast and lunch, educational training, transportation, swimming, and field trips. And they have the points of contact, which are Officer T. Smith, Officer S. Patterson, and Bishop Barron. So I put this information on our Facebook website so that people can get it. And it's going to be on this Zoom. When you go back and look at our Zoom for June, all this information will be there. Officer Smith, his number is 65. His number is 609-941-9840. Officer Patterson is badge number 667. His number is 609-519-8605. And Bishop Barron's number is 856-577-8387. And also, if you go to the CCPD website, so I think it's ccpd.org, right, Kev?
Yep.
Okay, you go to the website, you will find this on the website, as well as a lot of other information on the website. Okay, so that's one of my PSAs for right now. Now I'm getting ready, it's about 7:30. I want to bring on some new people they're not new, but they are now taking a new role in our community. So I have committee women that are at large and that have just, been elected into this position. And being a committee person takes a lot. It's not the easy job. It should not be an easy job because it's the thing that connects you to everybody. And our 3 guests tonight are Latina Gaines, Tamika Mason, and Tasha Gainey Humphreys. And we would like for them to just introduce themselves tonight, because we want them to, we want them to make sure, we want you guys to know that we have women that are ready to go into the world to show themselves as the leaders that they are, starting with our own community. And like I said, Parkside is extremely strong. So, I have 2 that are definitely out of Parkside, and Tamika, we're going to adopt her and put her in the Parkside, so it's okay. But in the meantime, I would like to introduce to you all of our committee women who were just elected in our primary. They're going to introduce themselves just to let you know who they are, and then we're going to go on from there. Ladies.
Hey, I'm Latina Gaines, a newly elected committee woman. I'm here as a resource. You can catch me in Parkside for the most part. Sometimes I'm in Kramer Hill. If you have any issues, feel free to contact me. I'm also on social media, Let's Space TNT Games on Facebook. And I can give you guys my phone number. If you have any issues that you don't really want to voice online, or if an email doesn't suffice, feel free to reach out to me. I wear a lot of hats. I coach cheerleading, I do real estate, I mentor. So committee is my new hat. I also work with PBCIP. So again, if you have any questions, if you need anything, and I work close to Chris Collins. So if you guys need anything, feel free to contact me. Again, it's Latina Gaines. My phone number is 856-873-2955. And that is my cell phone. So take it now while I'm giving it. It's 856-873-2955. Who next?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Everyone in the Parkside community. Thank you, Ms. Sheila Green, for inviting me. I am not a Parkside resident. However, I am a Camden resident, born and raised. I currently live in North Camden, but I am, as Ms. Sheila Green introduced us, a newly elected committee woman. Although I live in Ward 4, being a committee woman at large, I am a listening ear, a partner, and I am here to offer open hands and be a collective partner to the whole community, including Parkside. So thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this meeting. I will continue to be a part of this meeting and to really support Parkside community and Ms. Shirley Green and my fellow committee person, Councilman Collins. Thank you very much. Good evening. I'm sorry. My fellow committee persons want me to also talk about my current professional job. Alongside being a Camden resident and serving as committee woman, I am also executive director for Camden Enrollment, now known as One Camden, which is a unified enrollment system, which allows parents to have access to all of our schools here, get that information, and feel empowered about the decisions that they are making for their children's education. So alongside being an advocate for the community, I am also an advocate for our education, for our kids. Again, a product of Camden, born and raised in Camden, attended public school, went through Brim Medical Arts, went off to college and came back, and just very adamant and intentional about serving my community in which I was born and raised. So again, thank you, and looking forward to seeing and talking to everyone again.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sheila, once again for letting me come in, and I want to also pay my respects to Bridget for even allowing us to have this platform. But my name is Tasha Gainey Humphrey. As Sheila said, I am a member of resident of Parkside for the last 20 years. I recently also was elected as a city council committee woman. I'm speaking into existence, right? Yes. City committee woman at large. Let me slow down. I work closely with our councilman, Chris Collins. I sit on the PBCI board as co-chair along with Oscar Spencer. My objective and being a city committee woman at large is to work with all the residents of our city to make sure that your voices are being heard. At the end of the day, we have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, but we need to work together to make sure that our city is unified and keep Camden going forward. I will happily put my email address in the chat box, but just for right now, this C as in council, W as worker, last name Humphrey, HUMPHREY@gmail.com. So once again, thank you for this time. And I'm also a PBCIP member, so I am also a member. So thank you.
And shout out to our powerhouses, the Spearmans. I see Sarah Drummond. You guys have some awesome folks in here. So just really excited to be a part of you guys. Thank you.
And just so you all would know, we just had a reorganization meeting with the Camden City Democratic Committee. That's why we're all here bouncing back and forth. So thank you for having patience with us. And we love Parkside, we love PBCIP. And to the Spearmans, you all know you were supposed to be at this meeting also, but we forgive you.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. See, Parkside is a family. So we all know each other so well that we have titles, and Assemblyman Spearman is the strongest title that we have in our neighborhood, but we talk to each other like we're family. So everything's cool with us. That's how we get things done, because we don't really have, we don't have that big I little you kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? We're Parkside strong. You know what I mean? It comes from our heart. What we do is what we do. So I am so proud of these 3 young women who have stepped up into the gap, to take on a role that, some people will find to be very, very disheartening at some point in time. But, the women that we have in front of us, they are, mothers, and they have other hats that they wear. Latina wears like 99 hats. Tasha wears like 9950, and I don't even know how many hats Mish got. I really don't. However, with those things being said, we know that now we have dependable people that are women of their word, people that are going to get back to you the same way the councilman will get back to you. It's important to be heard, and it's important to be responded to. Those are the 2 major things. I will say it forever. Camden is a sight and sound city. It's what you see and what you hear. That's basically the way we work. So as long as we're doing those things and we're doing them collectively, one to the other, we will definitely be able to move forward and do a lot more with our city, by way of the things that we normally would not have been able to do. But now with people at the helm that listen, people that are going to hear the cries of those that have been, living in silence, suffering in silence, even better yet, for years. We now have people that are going to take notes, and they're going to get back, and they're going to call people. And we have a mayor at the helm that's also a Camden resident and a Parkside resident that's going to be able to hear. And now we've had for this time, the assemblyman that's sitting there making the laws, that's changing things as we go forward. So when he gets all of them together and they come to him and say, hey, Bill, blah, 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 he's going to like, yeah. And he takes it back to Trenton, and they can't do anything with him because he knows we got his back. That's the way we work here. So, it's not about the election days and the election time periods and an election year. This is the way we work in Parkside every day. Every day. We're behind the scenes, and we don't really care about all of that. The ones that's in front of us, those are the ones that we are working the hardest with, because their job is the hardest job. So it's really important for all of us to stay focused on the things that are a necessity for our community. Hold up the leaders that have taken these seats. These seats are not easy to sit in. They're not easy to sit in at all. There's so much going on with the situation that says an assemblyman's job is to do what? Now, if he's doing his job, then what are the other things that's attached to him besides being a husband and a father and everything else? What else is there attached to that? Because the job doesn't stop with just being an assemblyman. It keeps going, and it's constant, 24 hours a day, just about sometimes. I mean, Bill has to turn off his phone because I'll text him at 3 o'clock in the morning and he knows it. However, I try to be really respectful, but under the circumstances, that's the kind of, things that go on in our city. So we are now in a good position. We're in a good position where our family, our whole community is coming together to see the need and meet the need. We still have at the helm. And I'm gonna say this, and I hope it doesn't make her feel uncomfortable, but Michelle Banks Spearman is somebody that you really need to really look at as a person of integrity. Michelle has been doing things in this city for as long as she's been here. And now she's at the helm as the city attorney, and she's been there for a while. And Michelle doesn't play favorites to nothing and nobody. It doesn't matter. She does the job. She does it right the first time. If she makes a mistake, she's willing to say that she has made the mistake. Bye, babies. My ladies are leaving. If she did it, if it was wrong, she will let you know if she made a mistake. But most times she doesn't. I have known Michelle for so long. It took me a while to get used to her demeanor. It took a while for me to get used to a lot of things about her. But I tell you this much. There's no one that I know that's in the legal field right now that I can depend on to tell me the truth the first time than Michelle Banks Spearman. And I really appreciate the work that you do for the city of Camden. I appreciate the work that you've done for the Campton High boosters. I appreciate the work that you've done for everything that you've had your fingers on, your church, and everything else that's in this community. And I thank you for the children that you gave birth to that give us music now, so then we can have a whole nother enjoyment from the Spearman family. So hope that's not putting you out on Front Street, but I just had to say my thank yous to you because, you know, it's just the way it is. I also, go ahead. You're welcome. We want to also talk a little bit about, we have an ad hoc committee that's in under the council. Council created a cannabis ad hoc committee about a month or so ago. I know it was right before the primary, and we got sworn in like maybe directly right after the primary. So the ad hoc committee, for those that don't know what an ad hoc committee is, ad hoc means at large, or not at large, at need, and when you need it. Like if you need it, it's there. So they created this committee, and the reason why we exist, and I say we because I'm the vice chair of this committee. Tamika Mason is our secretary. That's our committee woman you just met. And Nichelle Pace is our chair from Camden Business Association. The reason why this committee was created was so that we could actually create a committee that's going to look at the circumstances of Camden and help Camden to stand up on its own 2 feet, not be dependent upon state funding, not be dependent upon anything. We have an opportunity to take an entity, a business entity, and raise it to another level. We're not talking about cannabis going out, sitting in the park, getting high, smoking, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about a whole nother industry. Cannabis and hemp are the biggest. Before they were demonized, it was the gross domestic product of the United States. And then they demonized it 60 years ago. Now it's back. And now we have to undo 60 years and 60 days, as we call it. So with that being said, there are going to be training programs. There's going to be things that we're going to talk about later on. We're going to educate our community on what we know, how we know it, the rules, the regulations, the laws, and everything. That's the reason why I did do a shout out to Michelle, because she's part of that committee and she guides us through the things that we don't understand. Because law is not an easy thing, not at all. It's one of the most confusing things that I know right now, but when you do get it, you will have it, and that's a good thing. So as we go forward, I just want you guys to know that, you know, we will be, you know, bringing various little things. There may be Zooms, there may be something that's in the park if it's not 100 degrees. Other things will be coming forward that's going to be talking about, you know, this new industry that's going to, you know, be a part of our city as a business, not as a black spot that it had been. So we want you to know that as you see these changes come, open your minds more than anything else towards the changes that it will bring to our neighborhoods and to our communities overall. We would like to see a lot of young people off the streets doing positive and productive things than doing stupid things that they have, you know, watched television and learned the worst way to do it from. We want something better than that. So we have, you know, different meetings that'll be public meetings that will be set out to different people, I mean, to the public by way of Facebook and other ways. We just had our first public meeting about maybe a week or so ago, Michelle. That's right. So we had our first public meeting, and we will continue to have public meetings so that people can chime in to give input. And I'm saying this so that those that don't know, the black market used to be called the black market. The black market were the people that were what you call the underserved, the ones that were in the wrong. So they were calling it the black market. We are now leveling them up to what we call legacy market. And the legacy market is the market that we would and need to be in touch with. We need them to come forward. We need them to talk to us. We need to know what has been, what is, and what will be, according to what they see, because they are the pros at this. We are all just people that are trying to guide it and make it better than what it was, and to turn it into something better than what it is. But they are the pros that know exactly how it should be done. So if you're a legacy, if you're out there and you've been doing this for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you need to be in touch with us. I am somewhere findable within, Facebook or PBCIP or wherever you have to find me. And even if you just ask somebody on the street, they'll tell you who I am and where I am. But I need to talk to you because it's important for us to know where we're going. We can't do this without you. It's not going to work unless we have all of the ducks in the same pond. Some on the shore, some over there, and somewhere else, it's not going to work. So we just want to make sure that this conversation goes on, and it goes on in such a way where everybody feels like they can actually have part of the input and they can be a part of what's going on. So I just wanted to make sure that we, put that out there, let you know what was going on. We got got people leaving.
Sheila, excuse
Yes.
me. If we could I just want to let everybody know that the meeting schedule for the Cannabis Ad Hoc Committee is on the city's website. If you go to the city council section, all the dates are listed, and all the Zoom meetings, and then Zoom information of how to get to hook up with that meeting.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michelle. I didn't know where we had it at. I knew we were going to put it somewhere, but that's great. So we can go to the city's website. Okay. So I think it's Camden. Camden's really interesting when you do it. Michelle, do you know the Camden City website?
ci.camden.nj.us.
All right. So it's 4 things, 3 dots. Okay. ci.camden.nj.us. So once you go there, look for what is the ad hoc committee, or we're looking for the how they're going to find it.
It's under, I believe it's under city council.
We go into city council. When you go into city council, the meeting schedule should be there, and it should say something affecting the ad hoc committee. And when it says the ad hoc committee meetings, you should click on it, and it should open up, hopefully, to show you what dates the committee will be meeting. Michelle's looking it up now. Okay, good. So with that, everybody can be on the same page. Share with whoever you want to. This meeting is recorded, so you can go to PBCIP. Good stuff. Thank you. You can go to pbcip.org, and you can look up our meetings, and our meetings are in monthly order. This is our last meeting for the summer, and we thank everybody for being a part of all of our meetings from January until now. I just want to do I got to do a PSA. Virtual Mobile Market will be in the vicinity tomorrow. They're here every Thursday, 2:30 to 3:30 on Park Boulevard, right across from the Boys and Girls Club, aka Big Picture Learning Academy, as it was, which will be over in the high school in September. But Virtual Mobile Market will be across from the Boys and Girls Club on Thursdays from 2:30 to 3:30. They have $3 bags, $6 bags, and $9 bags. Okay. If you have a SNAP card, you got your EBT card. If you have an EBT card, you get half off one of those bags. Okay. So if you have a $3 bag, it's $1.50, $6 bag is $3, and a $9 bag is $4.50. $9 bag gives you 20 items. So you get 20 vegetable fruit items in that bag. So for $9 or $4.50, if you're a SNAP recipient, you're going to get 20 items. So if you decide to spend $9 as a SNAP person, you're going to get a pretty decent deal. We asked them to bring, we don't know what they're going to have, but we asked them to bring because we're going into 4th of July. And we asked them to bring corn. We asked them to bring potatoes. We asked them to bring greens. We asked them to bring tomatoes. We asked them to bring, stuff that can make salads and stuff that you can put on the grill. We asked them to bring kale. We asked them to bring things that's good for people to eat, and that's going to give them the nutrients they need. And it's not going to take a whole lot to do. So that's this Thursday. That's tomorrow, 2:30 to 3:30 on Park Boulevard, on the park side of Park Boulevard, not on the school side, on the park side of Park Boulevard. So you'll see them, blue truck, and they're out there. So they take debit, EBT, credit, cash. Okay, they take a little bit of everything. So please support them. They're going to be in the neighborhood every Thursday, same time, for the same reason. Okay. Let me see, any other PSAs? Kevin, anything else that I should know from CCPD right now?
No, today we had our Pride Day parade. I don't know if we put it on our page. That went well. Nothing else on the horizon that I know of except for the program that you just talked about. And I know we do have a read program that we do. We did it a couple times in Centerville where we went to the branches and we walked around door to door trying to get kids recruited so we could read to them on Saturdays, have something to do for the kids. I don't know if they're going to branch it out to Parkside or not yet. I know it's something that they tried just in Centerville at the time. But that's about it for now.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we have a couple of things coming up. I got to find my one thing. Hold on a second. Back to technology again. Google Drive. Okay, very good. We'll be a pro at this in a minute, Bill. Watch. So we have we've covered all of our guests and PBCIP membership. I got 5 more minutes. PBCIP membership. Our membership drive is going very well, but I have not reached my goal yet. And I'm really, really, really pushing hard for my goal. Membership does not apply just to Parkside residents. If you are anybody that's on this call and you want to be a part of PBCIP, please go to pbcip.org, look up membership. Everything is there. The application, PayPal, everything is there. $12 for the whole year. Keeps you in touch with everything that we do, how we do it, when we do it, everything. So we are trying to reach a goal before the end of December of over 100 members, which is really, and we're already at about, I think we're like about 80. So we only need like 20 more people, to be honest with you. So we need to, update that, and we would love to have people come on board. It's so important. We're going to have our annual meeting in December, and we have such a good time at our annual meeting. Even though our annual meeting last year was a Zoom, I was just coming out of surgery. We danced anyway. It was so much fun. So we're looking forward to doing that again this year. And hopefully next year we'll be able to do, a meeting in person with everybody. We also want you to know that we have the PBCIP free home buyers virtual education course that Miosha Lawrence, our PBCIP homeownership coordinator, runs. You can get in touch with her or get more information from her at 856-964-0440 extension 15. Thank you, Kevin. Also, if you need to be in touch with PBCIP for anything, like to reach out to me to say whatever, I want to give a shout out, to DPW for the cleanups that we did in April, May, and June. We did all of Parkside in 3 months, and it was amazing. And I was so grateful for everyone that came out. There was a specific group that came out that was rental, I think it's called Real Value Partners, came out with the whole family, the children, the wife, and everybody. And everybody, we picked up trash and we cleaned up everything. It's so important for us to keep our city clean, but it's more important that keeping the residential area that you live in clean. It doesn't take much to pick up a piece of trash and put it in a trash can. Get a trash bag and put it in the trash bag. You will see the difference, how it is and how it feels when your community is clean and it doesn't have debris all over the place. So our next cleanup, prayerfully, is going to be in October, hopefully around the Halloween time period, so we can get everybody out and we can do a little bit of all at one time. So that's keep in touch for the date. I'll let you know when that's going to happen. We have a pop-up on the Ave that's coming up September 18th. That's going to be on Haddon Avenue. Now, it's not our Haddon Avenue Street Fest, not our normal Haddon Avenue Street Fest. We're calling it the pop-up on the Ave. We're still in COVID. We still have to be careful. So we're just going to do a small thing that we're going to do something different. So stay tuned for the information. I'm not even going to give you a lot. I'm going to make you want it. So you're going to have to come back to get it. So the pop-up on the Ave is going to be September 18th. Watch for flyers, listen out for information, go to our website to see the updates, or join PBCIP and become a member, and you can get an email that'll let you know all of the details. The next thing that's going to happen is a tentative date right here at the Society is our community block party. It's going to be hosted by PBCIP, Camden County Historical Society. We're hoping the City of Camden and the New Jersey Conservation Foundation. So we are doing a community block party. We want our vision is to block off from Vesper to Euclid, one side, so that we can leave the other side open so that the emergencies can get through and get to the hospital. So the right side of the street will be open, but the left side on the football field side, that side will be closed off. And we're just debating on what time we want to do it because the heat has been so bad. We don't want to do it too early and we don't want to do it too late. So keep in touch. We will send out flyers and everything and let you guys know when it's going to happen, whether there's a rain date and everything else. It's going to be open to all the Parkside community. We are looking for vendors. We are looking for vendors. If you want to be a vendor, please contact me at 856-964-0440, extension 13. Vendors for this event and this event only will have no fee, but we are asking for a donation to the Camden County Historical Society for them. That's all we're asking for. If you want to be a vendor, contact me at that number. There's no fee for you to set up. You just have to let me know what it is. I have to approve it and let you know that it's okay to come. Okay? So we are now at our 8:01 hour, and I am so really glad to have had Joey to stay with me the whole entire time.
You know, I wasn't going to do it.
Of course, my neighbors, the Spearmans, they were going to be there. I know that, so that's cool. I've totally enjoyed doing this. This has been an honor to be able to have this kind of platform, and to have people to be able to be a part of what it is that we are a part of. And the Spearmans, I can't say enough about those two people, and I better stop talking about it because I live right across the street from them. They may come knock on my door or something. I don't know, but they've been part of PBCIP. They were, Bill Spearman is the seed of PBCIP. Michelle took over and she became like the branch that came out, and she stayed there for almost ever. And then when she became part of the city, she had to leave. But it's because of people like that that have roots planted and they see a vision of what is better, what can be better, is the reason why we can keep going. I came to Parkside later. I didn't know nothing about PBCIP. It's Michelle's fault that I'm here, actually, to be honest with you, because she did all of this to me. But at the very end of the day, I'm really proud that, I wasn't afraid to take on what it was that she saw. And I'm really happy that, I'm still able to give as much to my community as I can possibly give. It gives me a joy every single day to see progress, no matter how big or small, no matter what it is that we do. And I think that if we all decide to take on our own initiatives to do things for our own communities or the communities that we work in, the exact same way we take care of our homes, guaranteed we will be 100% better. So with that being said, I thank you all. It's been a hot one. It's been a hot one. Please be careful. Please take care. Please stay cool. Check in on the elderly. Please check in on the elderly. They believe in fans only. You cannot live by a fan in 100 degrees. I'm sorry. So please check on the elderly. Please check on the disabled. Make sure that they're okay. And just let people know that, we're here to be able to help whenever we can. So PBCIP is just a community-based organization that just wants to do good by people. Thank you, Spearmans, for making that happen for us. So with that being said, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We see you in September. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.